Tickets are available now for Sweetstock at sweetstock.com. We mentioned it on our show. We're welcoming Sweetstock back, and we're so excited to have that list of bands. All the information's on our website. It's going to be so great.
And just to clarify, as far as calendar dates, as we speak, through July 17, 2021, because I don't know what year this will be heard again. July 17, 2021, 10 a.m., early bird pricing, $10 off across the board. And then regular price after that. And
if you're listening to this after August 28th and you buy tickets somewhere, you're an idiot. Well, because the show was already had already happened.
Mean.
If I'm just saying, if it's past August 28th of 2020, we have to have some sort of personal responsibility. Yeah. If you can't think that you're buying tickets on September 15th for a show that happened 2 weeks ago,
hopefully we took the tickets.
It's
down.
on you. You just never know.
The ticket machine.
The internet can do weird things. Russian people from
the Wayback Machine,
the evildoers.
The evildoers.
Evildoers could make some sort of right. Well, whatever. I don't know what you people call them, but whatever, the evildoers could make some website to sucker people in to get their money.
Right.
Just don't do that.
Life isn't as simple as it was last time around.
No.
For Sweetstock. Things are much different now for Sweetstock.
Well, you were just mentioning before this about just trying to find some pictures of previous Sweetstocks. I'm thinking, okay, well, the last one was in 2002, which is the very, very beginning. 2002. Was at the very beginning stages of us having pictures, having picture
cameras, having
the moving pictures. Good Lord, having cameras on our phones, because when we were working here, we first got our jobs here. There was a guy that worked with us named Lucas, and he was like the guy that always had the coolest thing ever.
He had all the gadgets.
All the ladies wanted to be around him. He had all the gadgets.
True too.
So we always think of Lucas as having the cool stuff. And he had a flip phone, which was everybody had that.
I had a StarTAC. At that time.
His was, I don't remember what it was. It was silver. All I remember. It was cool.
At that time, I had a StarTAC because I just moved back to town. That's what I say that's what you say.
You're making fun of me for saying.
We'd be like, we're going to go to town. Move back to town.
How about you move to Omaha?
I moved to Omaha. Let's just go move back to the area. But I still had my StarTAC at that point.
I remember him getting, it was Sprint. He had Sprint. I don't remember anything. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, but I remember this.
You liked all their swag.
I loved it.
You always loved
it.
And
so he got a box from Sprint. I remember sitting in his office and go, I got this. Check this out. You could have a camera attached to your phone. And it was a big, like a clunky thing that you plugged into the bottom of the phone, and it was a separate camera. It was a little camera because you didn't have a camera on your phone. It was a separate camera that you could take a picture and then take the picture from the little adapter into your phone, and then you could text it to someone. But it took forever because the pictures were huge.
The phones then at that time you could text, and that was the T-Touch.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the best because that was before the screens, so you could feel each individual button, and you could literally text without looking at your phone.
Yes.
Because you could feel the buttons, and you could tell by the bump in the middle where your home key.
1, 2, 3. 3 pumps is a K. 2 is a right. But so it's actually Apple's fault for coming out with the iPhone. That's what caused us to text and drive. Because before you could text and drive, but you'd never have to take your eyes off the road.
You didn't have to because you could feel it. You could just do it while driving.
And it was an art.
But you couldn't take pictures with those phones.
Nope.
And then the next, of course, and you could take pictures, and they were awful. But then sharing them was terrible. But I don't even know that you could email them at that point. You couldn't email them then.
I don't even think you had email on your phone.
At that point.
The only time you had email on your phone was if you had a Palm Pilot.
Oh, yeah.
Was it. So you had a Palm Pilot, and then it was, I think that was, what is a Palm Pilot? Or BlackBerry.
BlackBerry.
But you couldn't add pictures because BlackBerries didn't have cameras. The first versions of it didn't.
Right.
So anyway, back to our original thing. Good luck finding pictures of the original Sweetstocks in digital form because cameras, DSLR cameras are around, but I actually have in my office right now. I have a camera that was given to me in 2000. It's a DSLR, and the memory card, it's a 4 gig memory card, and each picture on there is like 250 meg. Like it only holds like 15 pictures. Yeah.
Well,
so those pictures were huge.
It was about that time that I got, my mom is huge into photography, right? And she's a really good photographer. She's always had the big, all the accessories and, the cameras in her hand, 35 millimeter.
Purist.
Take them, right. Film. And I bought her a digital camera, and it was probably in about 2002. And it was I've still got the little camera. I don't know that it's ever been really used that much. But she didn't use it. She didn't like it.
Well, she's a film purist.
Right?
Yeah.
It was just like, she put her nose right up at it. And I was like, okay, never mind. I thought it was kind of pushing you to the future, but never mind.
No.
Just stick with your camera and your
Push her
film.
kicking and screaming.
And now she's all over it. She's getting much, much better. She's finally got to the point where she'll take pictures with her phone. And that was a big step, getting her a smartphone, because she didn't need that.
Well, now,
but then she realized she wasn't getting the chat. She wasn't in the threads with her friends.
Oh, she's out of the loop.
The chat text.
She had
right?
FOMO.
Yes.
She had mom FOMO.
Yes, she did.
Total FOMO.
So all her girlfriends were having text messages, and she wasn't in the loop.
Yeah. So then
on her phone, because her phone, she didn't know how to text on her phone.
Now she's in the loop. She's back in the scene.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all good.
I know, and I know that you can do obviously 10 times more with a digital camera than you could with film, but there's still something about the film.
I know.
A photographer that we work with, his name is Ryan Locos, taking a lot of shots for our company, and he is out of Florida, and he is like a film guy. he uses that's what he does. He's a photographer, and he uses a digital camera 90% of the time. He's a photographer for the WWE and UFC, so he does you use digital stuff. But his primary, he would love to, if he could still shoot on film all the time, he would. There is
Does he ever say why?
He just said that to him, it's like he's a pure like.
Is it like somebody he'd listen to albums?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. It's just he feels, because there's something about. I guess it's the romanticizing of taking a picture and not being able to look at it and adjust it and delete it and retake it. It's like you have to set up your scene instead of doing it in post, is what he's like. It's more of an art.
I get that. Because that's kind of, we've talked about that before, just in talking in the box, talking about production, that it used to be you would try and do it all in one take, and you didn't have the ability to layer things in digitally. Right. And you would have all the elements lined up, and you had to push the buttons and adjust the volumes as it was happening. Yeah. And there was something about that was really cool. And that's exactly what he said for pictures. If you go back to, I'm going to say, when albums were really big was probably in the 70s, right? Right. Albums, that was when it was really a big deal. I guarantee you that if they could have found a way to have music, that they could keep 1,000 songs on something the size of a dime, instead of having a wall of albums, that they would have done it in a heartbeat. Of course they would have. Of course they would. Just like go back in all the selfies that we took in high school, and it was like one person's face was cut off. You'd think, God, I wish we could just look at it in real time and take it again. Had no idea that it was blurry. Just like farmers. Yeah. The old guy. To this day, my dad and his buddies loved going out and taking the horses to pull the plow. But I guarantee you, back in the old days, if you'd given them a tractor, they would have taken it in a heartbeat. All day long. All day long. Right? There's something romantic about going back to visit that time. But if you went back to that time, they would be all about, what are you talking about? You idiot. Yep. Drive the tractor. That you just feel like closer to your craft or something. I don't know. But he would buy it's either Fuji or Kodak has this line of film that it's got a chemical in it that is like 1/1,000,000th of a blah, blah, blah. And it's something the government said that it's illegal and toxic. And it's not even enough to kill a fly. Whatever. So Kodak or Fuji has stopped. Well, they stopped making it. They're like, we're not making anymore. So we have a finite amount of this film left. Is this like the light bulb controversy? I don't need probably. That happened we got our light bulbs back. Yeah, right? Okay, probably. So he bought a ton of this film. I know. He bought a ton of this film. But what happened was he was telling me a story about, he was on a shoot. I think it was for WWE or something, but it was a shoot where it was not going to happen again. Like, it wasn't something you can go like bring the actor back in and take more pictures. And he shot it on film and sent the film away, and they never received it. It got lost in the mail because he sends it to Minneapolis or wherever to produce it or develop it. And he lost, never found it. It was like hearing the story was like from somebody that lost their puppy. Like, it was, because it's something that it's like one of these passion things that you like put so much blood, sweat, and tears into, and then you put it completely in somebody else's hand. And with digital, you can always have backups on the cloud. But you're not going to lose that stuff. But with that, no other copies. Well, you think too. I mean, you used to drop your film off at Photomat or wherever to some sweaty teenager's hands. And they'd put it in an envelope and file it away. And then you'd come back in a week and pick up your pictures. Pray to God it was there. Yeah. And that, and all the pictures came out right and they didn't overdevelop, underdevelop. I just watched Hope Floats the other day. I love that movie. It's a great movie. Where she's working in the camera shop. Right. And he tells her about all the pictures, and you see any inappropriate pictures, you want to take those out and you want to put them in an envelope so we can give them to the sheriff. And then you take a copy and you put them in this drawer right here. And you can look through any of those that you want to at any time. And I'm like, that is exactly how it used to be. I guarantee you.
I would love to hear from somebody that worked. And I used to work when I was in Hy-Vee. I worked at Hy-Vee. I worked in the non-food section, and I was in the camera area a lot. So we would take in the film, write the names down, and then we'd send it to somebody else to develop. They'd come pick it up.
Yeah.
So I'm sure those people, every time something sketch would come by, zoop, zoop, and we're worried about people going through our phones now. Please.
That's true.
Although what was better about those times, because right now you can make really bad decisions at 1 a.m. with pictures you send. Back then, you'd have to take the picture, sober up, wait a week and a half, get it, mail it, put it in an envelope, address it, and send it if you wanted to send a D-pic. So you
talk about a lot of opportunities to change your mind.
Yeah. Hey, Rhonda, are you still hot? It's been 2 weeks, but I'm sending that right now. You should have it in 2 to 3 business days. What are you doing? What are you wearing right now?
I can't imagine. Did anybody really do that?
I'm sure. Are you kidding me? If you ever sent a D-pic back in the 90s, let us know.
You don't have to use your real name.
No.
Just drop us a line.
I guarantee, just because we got phone pictures, cameras on our phone, didn't create dirtbags. Dirtbags have been around forever. So I guarantee
It's just made it much easier for them.
I guarantee you they would
much more expedient.
Yep.
Imagine that. So anyway, all that because of Sweetstock.
All that because of Sweetstock. So go to sweetstock.com. You can get your tickets. And until, like you said, Saturday, July 17th at 10 a.m.,
right.
It's $10 off all packages.
But in all seriousness, we're talking about pictures. The reason this all came up is because I want to see some of the pictures that you have, any pictures you can find. Because the one thing I find really weird is if you try to search online for the last Sweetstock, which is the one that we hosted, in 2002, I can't find anything online.
Are you conspiracy theorying it now?
Anything. There's not all the other ones I can find at least somebody posted a picture of their ticket. Because it has the year and it has like the headliners and a couple other things on it. There was somebody who wrote a blog about going to it one of the other years, and they wrote a complete list of who played and everything that happened getting there, and it was her and her best friend, and it was like she wrote this to somebody she knew. I felt really like I was digging through her mail, but it was a really good story about going, and I'm like, there's nothing about
that's weird
anywhere, and I haven't tried the Wayback Machine. I don't know if that what the
hell
worked.
Is that?
The Wayback Machine?
Yeah.
Well, then you can take a look at
where do you
old
crazy
websites.
People find? What? Is it
you can,
thewaybackmachine.com?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be damn.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Oh, is that the one where you find old cached pages?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember talking about that.
So, and I'm thinking maybe I haven't run it through that yet, but I can't believe that all the digging with all filters off, digging for anything that related, and I can find nothing.
Did you DuckDuckGo it?
Yeah.
And you Googled it?
Nothing. Eat both. Yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing. I can't find anything about it from 2002.
All right, so if anybody has any pictures from 2002's Sweetstock.
Particularly, but any of them would be fine. But particularly, I would really like to see some. So, we'll try to find a way to organize them so we can have an album of them.
Sure.
You don't have to identify yourselves or whatever. It's up to you. It's been, 20 years, so...
Yeah. I'm sure we all looked better back then anyway.
I'm sure we all want to identify ourselves.
Right,
look at me. Look at how hot I was.
Let's circle ourselves. We'll put arrows towards ourselves. We all looked better 20 years ago. And don't that person right now that's texting saying, I look better now than I did, just save it.
Delete.
Save it, because you're the only one and we do not want to hear from you.
Not right now. Just know the room, okay? Read the room. This is what we're talking about.
Wait till next week.
Oh, my God. So anyway, get to sweetstock.com, get those tickets.
That was fun. Man, that's a TBT to talking about pictures on your phone. Man, that hasn't been around forever, kids. That has not been around forever.
Seriously.
All right, you guys have a great day. Pat and JT. It's Pat and JT, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.